Hello again and welcome to a new video to practice English with Wice World English. And today we have a very interesting topic, right, for intermediate. Okay. And the topic is to identify people using prepositional phrases and participial phrases. Well, actually today we have participial phrases because we did prepositional phrases in the previous video. If you want to see the previous video, you can look at the link below. Okay, well, just in case, participial phrases, you might find them in other books as adjective phrases or reduced adjective clauses. Okay, anyway. Okay, well, but before we start our topic today, how to identify people using participial phrases, let's take a look at the previous homework or assignment that we had. All right, so we had you had to write sentences to identify all the people in the picture. And if you didn't see the previous video, once again you can see the video below, or you can pause the video if you want to write some sentences or check your sentences before we check some possible answers. Here we go. Okay, so these are some possible ideas that you might have come up with. Okay, so we have Mario is the man behind Rita, right? Mario is the man behind Rita. Mario is the one next to Jean or John, I don't know, French. Okay, let's see, what about Sue? Sue is the woman behind the sofa. Okay, John is the one on the sofa. You can also say the man on the sofa, the one on the sofa, no problem. What about Rita? Rita is the woman. Rita is the woman on the floor. She's the one in front of Mario. Okay, so that was the previous homework and the previous exercises that you had. And now let's continue with the topic today. To identify people using participial phrases. Okay, we call them participial phrases, and I mean, in this case, in these phrases, we have to use present participles. You might be thinking, what are present participles? Well, present participles is something that is very familiar to you. Look, there you have a lot of examples. Look at that: standing, holding, sitting, lying, toasting, looking, wearing. Okay, so all of these are present participles. Okay, so in other words, the present participles are all the verbs that end in ing, right? So like standing, sitting. Okay, so we're gonna use this to make phrases. Okay, and phrases that are gonna help us identify people. Let's see, you remember him? Tom, right? Who's Tom? Right, who's Tom? We don't know, I don't know him, so we have to identify him. So I will say he's the man. And now this is a moment when we can use these present participles. Question, Tom is standing or sitting? He's standing, so the participial phrase would be Tom is the man standing in front of the board. Can you identify the participial phrase? That's the participial phrase, the man standing in front of the board. Okay, and also if you take a look at the drawing, you will notice that Tom is a teacher, right? What is he doing? He's teaching, right? He's teaching a class. Okay, so we can say also he's a man teaching the class. See? So once again, right? Teaching, right? And the participial phrase would be the man teaching the class. Okay? Let's go with some more examples using the same pictures that we used in the previous video. Okay, so here we have Tom and the other lady. Okay, well, let's start with the lady. Okay, so who's Jessica? I don't know Jessica. Who's Jessica? We need to identify Jessica. So, okay, so she's a woman. Okay, once again, she's sitting or she's standing? She's standing, so she's a woman standing behind the sofa. Okay, we can also say She's a woman talking to Tom, right? She's a woman talking to Tom. Okay, and once again, can you recognize the participial phrases? The woman standing behind the sofa, the woman talking to Tom. Okay, very good. Now let's go to the second person. I mean, Tom, right? Who's Tom? Okay, Tom is sitting or is standing? He is a man sitting on the sofa. Okay, he is a man trying to sleep, right? Okay, Jessica talks too much, I don't know. All right, well, it's an example. Okay, and once again we have the participial phrases there, right, to identify people. And now we have this other picture, right? Remember this picture? Remember Maria, Pedro, and Yumi? Okay, so this is a moment when we can make a pause. Okay, pause the video and try to write as many sentences as possible using this new grammar, right? To identify people using participial phrases. Okay, and remember that you will require, you will need to use present participles, right? So, for example, these verbs, right? Standing, sitting, lying, toasting, looking, wearing, hugging, dancing. Okay, of course, you might not, there are some verbs that are extra, right? You might need to use a dictionary, etc., etc. All right, so let's pause and write sentences to identify Pedro, Maria, and Yumi. Good luck. Pause the video. Well, I hope you paused the video, and now we're gonna take a look at some of the possible sentences that you might have written. Okay, so let's see. Who is Maria? Who's Maria? We can say Maria is a woman wearing a red jacket. Who's Maria? She's the one standing between Paul and Yumi. Standing, wearing. Who's Maria? She's the woman toasting with Pedro. Right? Cheers. Okay. Now, who's Pedro? What sentences do you have? Pedro is a man wearing a scarf. He's the one toasting with Maria, remember? Cheers, right? He's the one wearing a red sweater and jeans. Okay? And what about Yumi? Who's Yumi? Okay, Yumi is a woman wearing a green sweater and sneakers. She's the one standing next to Maria. She's the one looking at Pedro in a suspicious way. Okay, well, I don't know. Alright, and now this is the end of the video, and using this picture, remember the people here, right? You can make more sentences, okay? And remember that it would be a good idea for you to write sentences, compare with a friend, or something like that, okay? And this is the end of this video, part 2 of 2, right? Thank you very much. Thank you very much for following me in Wice World English. Remember that you can also find us in Facebook, and remember to activate the thingy there, the bell, right? If you want to know when I post new videos. Thanks again, and I will see you in future videos. Bye.